Hey, this is James, another episode of The Belief Hero. Our theme for day 5 is the only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. Welcome to the Belief Hero channel. My name is James. This is day 5 of the Canva Workshop. Let's get started. I am pretty excited about this. Today we are going to be building a... I don't even know what I'm going to be doing today. Today we're going to be building a post from scratch. So get your Canva open and let's dive into it. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pick, for the workshop, we've been picking one standard social media format, and that is Instagram portrait. That is the most safe for anybody that's doing Instagram and Facebook. This is the most safe. So formatted for about every situation. Let's dive into it here. Now, in our live workshop, we had Linda who asked us, hey, can you we're doing some team ups in their Shackley businesses. And so what they wanted was they just wanted a team up graphic that showed the 3 members of their team. They wanted the team name on there, just something super simple. And so Linda's like, where would I start with that? And so what we're going to do is we're going to dive into exactly what we did today with Linda, but we're going to kind of look for some pre-made stuff. And I think that's really the power of Canva. So, I kind of mentioned Photoshop and some of those other things. And one of my comments was Photoshop is just slower. Canva's faster. So this is one mechanism of why you want to learn Canva, because these things are just faster. The pre-made stuff is awesome. It looks great. Let's capitalize on that. Let's make this team up graphic for Linda and her team, and let's do it in record time. All right. So we opened up our new file. We're going to go ahead and name it. We did this in day 4. We named it. Click that spot at the top. We're going to call this Linda's team. Linda's team up V2, because it's the second one we're going to make today. And now our project's already saved. That is good housekeeping. That will save you tons of time. Name your project right away. So what we ran into with Linda is we went to designs and we typed in team. And I think these things are great because they give you a whole bunch of fun stuff that you can pick from. And I know Linda pretty well, and I wasn't super thrilled on some of these. They look really good. These aren't Linda. So I made another one, another format, Instagram Square. And I thought, well, maybe there's something in Square that looks a little different. So I typed in team and I scrolled down and I found this one. And this to me looked like Linda. Linda got on the workshop. We're live. She goes, I like this one. So what do? We couldn't find this one in our portrait because all these pre-made ones are specifically for portrait. And obviously this one's made for specifically Square. Well, remember, everything is copy and pastable in Canva, and this is why it's so much faster than Photoshop. So what we did is we literally came in here, we highlighted from the left right down to the bottom while holding shift. It grabbed all of the graphics. We right-clicked on one of those. We clicked copy. We went back to the one with Linda, the portrait, and we typed paste, and it brings it in. We just centered that as a group. Boom, it's done. Now we go back to that other one with Linda. We click the background. We click copy. We go to the new one on the portrait, and it's in. So really quick. We're just looking, when you come into Canva, this is powerful. And we talked about this in day 4. Day 5, even more so. All these designs are copy and pastable. If you just look over here on the side and you're like, hey, I like one of these, it's available. You can grab it and just pull it in and copy and paste it into any other format. So you can copy this into a PowerPoint. You can do whatever you want. Maybe you just like the colors. That's totally fine. Grab it and bring it in, okay? So that's all we did. Linda's post that she wants to make is a portrait. So it's a little bit taller. It's not square. The design we liked for Linda was square. So we just copied and pasted everything. And so how we did that really quick is we dragged from the left to the right while holding shift. That grabbed everything. It grabbed everything. And then I simply go over a text or an element that's highlighted, and I right click and I say copy. That's it. Super easy. And then I went to the one that we were building for Linda and I pasted it in. But to get the background, I had to come get the background second. See how the background's not highlighted? Right click copy. I brought it and I'm done. Now that was fun, right? That was easy. And now Linda has something that kind of fits her look wise. So this is a meet our team. That's exactly what we're looking for. Now we want to upload pictures for Linda to use in her team up. So the way we can do that is we can go to uploads, and you can see I've got them uploaded here already. The other thing you can do is you can drag and drop to here. So I'm going to show you really quick what that looks like. Let me move my mouse off the screen here. I can't do it because I have multiple screens open. I'm streaming on the bottom screen. But if I have a picture on the side right here, I could just drag it over there and it would upload it. Same thing. So you go to uploads, upload your files, and then you upload them. You upload those pictures. Super, super easy to do. In fact, we'll just go ahead and do it. Let's just do it. I'll just delete these. They don't exist. Move to trash. Move to trash. So let's go ahead and upload one more time. We do this every day. It's all the same. We're going to grab that one and get all three of them. How cool is that? Now they're up. Now what's cool is these are picture frames. So there's some difference in elements. And this is something we did earlier. We have shapes, which are just like shapes that you can color. But then if you look over here, there's some other ones that have the pictures behind them. So if you type in picture frame, it shows these with the picture behind it in the cloud. Now this is really important. There are some really cool things that picture frames do that the other elements don't. You can drag a picture in to it from your uploads or from anywhere, right? So let's grab our fishing guy that we used in day 4, right? See that? There he is. Now when I double click it, I can center it within that frame. It's really cool. So if you have, I use it for newsletters. I can drag and drop new pictures in from my newsletters, my updates. All those things are why Canva's faster, why you want to use Canva. Those are speed benefits of Canva. Super cool. So that element is a picture frame, and they have all different shapes, round corners, squares, circle, pictures with circles around them. We're actually going to grab the one with the circle. We're going to do a couple things today. So what we're going to do first is we're going to drag and drop our pictures in. So we're going to grab Julie's picture and put it in there. We're going to grab Linda's picture and put it in there. And we're going to grab, oh, excuse me. Now, what we have is we have some pictures that aren't really very well balanced. Now look at this other picture. Now look at this. Inside the frame, I can blow that one up and kind of make it about match. Right? That actually looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. See that? That's great. Now, I might not want to do that. Maybe I just want to leave her picture alone. Oops. Undo. Remember, if you bump something, it's not a big deal. Double click that picture frame. Shrink that picture down. Move it where you want it. I'm going to shrink it down a little bit more. We're going to leave that one like that. But we've got Linda's here, and we want to do some stuff with Linda's. And yesterday in day 4, I kind of gave all those hypothetical reasons we might use the magic, our AI tools in Canva. Today, we're going to show you really specifically where you use those and why they're important. So let's take Linda's picture. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to the top of this design, and you can see lock, duplicate, or add page. And we're just going to add another page because it comes in blank. We're going to grab Linda's picture. We're going to drag it in towards kind of where it would be. And I'm going to go ahead and just get Linda's face kind of centered. See that? I'm going to find the edge of her where her head is kind of centered in the middle, okay? Now I'm going to go back up to that edit photo. I'm going to do magic expand. I'm going to do the whole page, and we're going to see. You can see Linda's head's cut off a little bit from the picture, so it's not a perfect picture. Her other shoulder's kind of missing. Let's see what AI can do to help us get Linda's picture centered in this frame. Okay, so that one's not super good. That one looks pretty stinking good. That one does not look as good, and that one gave her a little copper glass bonnet. We're going to take this one. We're going to take that one. That one's going to work. We're going to use it. Now we're going to take this picture and we're going to move our screen about halfway. I'm going to take that picture, I'm going to drag it in there. Look at that. Now if I click it, because I've got a taller picture, I can kind of center his face in there. How cool is that? So now I got a centered picture of her. All right. Now I'm going to go out. We had some really good pictures in here. We're going to do the same thing with this picture. All right. Just kind of stretch this picture out. We're going to have to move this one kind of the center. I'm not sure how this one's going to turn out. But I want her kind of face. I'm going to do more like this. A little bit to the side. Okay. And we're going to go to edit photo, magic expand, whole page, expand. Now, this is the power of AI, and this is an exact case why you would use or where you would use this magic expand. So we're just creating more picture to be able to shrink the head down to fit in. Now I added a bunch of stuff in the background. That one's okay. That one's better. No. That picture's, yeah, that one's actually better than all of them. And we'll stay done. Okay. Now look at this. We'll grab that picture, pull it up there. Look at that. Is that not super cool? Now, for speed tonight, we're going to go ahead and go to the one that we finished with Linda's team. Okay. The first one. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and grab their names. Okay. And I'm going to grab their team name just because we don't want to spend time doing that right now. We've already done it once. We're going to go ahead and delete this. We're going to delete these fake names and titles. I'm going to click the background now, and I'm going to click paste. So it's going to bring it in for us. Just a little time saver since we are working on this. Now, moving elements on opposite sides. If I move one of these stars up, or yeah, it'd be a star, move that up. The other one's going to be hard to get it. See, look, if I move this one up, I could actually bump it. Maybe I change the margin of it. Maybe I don't get it as even with the words. Okay, now there are some, that does tell me I'm pretty right on. That tells me that they're almost exact. You would think it was, but look at the center of the star. It's not on the pink line. So I have to come over here and I have to move it to the pink line. That's kind of a hassle. So what I do is I click the first one and then I hold down shift. I click the other one. Now that I've selected two, I can hit group. So now I can just move those up together. And we just want to keep them centered right now. Okay. And I'm going to click the team. Life Shakers and Movers, those are already, that's their team. They're going to move that up together on center line. That's done. I'm going to highlight these pictures and these lines, and I'm just going to move them up a little bit right in maybe there. I might move this down just a smidge. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Now, what I would like to do with this is I'd like to put the little circles around their heads. Okay? I'm going to show you some ways that you can do that. Now, I'm going to show you why what I'm doing will work, but there's a better way to do it. So we're going to do it wrong, but not always wrong, because sometimes you get into a design and you want to add it, but you didn't think about it in the beginning and you don't want to go backwards. So let's say I thought of this and I didn't think of it in the beginning, but I still want to do it. That's a fair thing. So let's get rid of this picture frame and let's grab this circle. Okay? And we're going to zoom in a little bit. So I want to put this circle, and it gave me that the lines, the center lines. We're going to move over just a smidge here. And I'm going to click that, and I'm going to go to position, layers. We've done all this in the weeks before. I'm going to move it behind this. Now what I want to do is I just want to make it a little bit smaller than that picture. A little bit larger, excuse me. And I do want to get it just a little bit smaller yet. Now, if I'm not paying attention, I can change that from a circle to something oblong. Remember, we got to hold down shift when we do something. I didn't do it. I was super careful, but you could easily change that from a circle to kind of an egg shape. And then be in here scratching your head, why doesn't this work? Well, it's because you didn't hold down shift when you changed the size of that circle to go behind the picture. So now that we've got it where we want it, let's click this up here. When we select that circle element, I'm going to hit duplicate. It's going to give me another one. That will tell me when I'm pretty close on that one. I'm going to duplicate again, and boom, it already knew where I was going to go with it. So now you can see both of these are over here in my layers. I can highlight them both from layers. So I held down shift and clicked them in the layers, which selected them on screen, drag them both down here below the pictures, and boom, we're done. Now, Linda's will need moved over just a little bit, and so does Debbie's, just a smidgen. Boom, how cool is that? Now, I can select those, and I want to select a slightly different color. Something a little darker, maybe even. Something like that looks really decent. Maybe just a little bit. I just want to create a little texture, okay? It doesn't need to be a lot. I like that. Just a smidge, okay? We'll leave them like that for right now so you can see it, what I'm doing. Now I'll unzoom. That is one way to do it. What if you had nothing? Delete all that work. Oh no, I don't want to do that because I got those pictures of Linda and Debbie that we AI'd, and I don't have them anymore because we drug them up and it gets rid of them out of the other page. So we don't want to get rid of Linda's picture, okay? We want to take Debbie's picture and put it down there also. So let's say these don't exist. What could we do? Well, you could drag your picture frame in, your circle in now. So go ahead and bring your circle in. Now, this is a way to use some of the format and position tools to make it a little easier for you if you're not really sure how to get everything centered. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this circle, the picture frame, inside that one. Now, I can highlight both of those again, go up to position, go to arrange, put them in the middle, and make sure they're both centered. And I use the centering tool, to get both of them centered together. How cool is that? Now, I simply highlight them both together, duplicate, bring it over here and center the whole thing on Julie's name like that. And then come back, highlight them again, duplicate, and center them on Debbie's name. And you can see that all the lines come up. Now, I zoom out a little bit and I go back to my uploads. I can bring Julian. I can drag Linda up like that. Now, it isn't exactly working correctly because these are picture frames in themselves. And so I've got to resize them a little bit, but that's okay. So what happened, what you're seeing is I drug Linda's and Debbie's pictures off. They were in picture frames already instead of just being pictures. And so now when I'm dragging back in, they want to maintain that picture frame element that they are. So they won't drag into another picture frame. So I'm going to delete those other picture frames and I'm going to drag Linda's up and I'll just shrink it down. I'll just shrink it down about like that. Okay. Super easy. And the first couple times you do it, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, this is so complicated. And then you're going to be like, this is actually really easy. And I don't know why I was ever intimidated by it. And there's Debbie's. Okay. I'm going to make Debbie's slightly bigger. Look at that. How cool is that? There we go. Now, let's zoom in and let's make sure these are all centered with one another. So they're centered on that. And I'm just going to hold it right there. Now they're all centered. How easy was that? So that was one way to do it. Another way to do it is when you go to elements and you search picture frame, and I have those little circles. There is a picture frame that has a circle around it. See that? And with that, you get white and green. So up here, you have two colors. So you could also, if you knew you were going to do that, and I didn't when I did this the first time, clear my search history, go to uploads. I can drag Julie's into that. I can shrink it down to whatever size I wanted. And then I could use that as well. So that's two ways that you can do it. Now you can make this one a dark tan and make the inner one a lighter tan. That's totally fine. I actually really, really like that. I would prefer that. I can't go back and recreate these pictures in AI and have them turn out perfect. So for speed, we're just gonna get rid of that. And these are our picture frames. Pretty simple, pretty quick. Now I'm gonna hold down Shift and select all of those circle elements behind the pictures. I'm gonna change their color to that darker color. Maybe that color right, actually, maybe that color. Now, we're done, but we're not done. I kind of want some more texture. So let's go back to our original square that we were looking for some templates, and let's look at this template. I love this template. I love the background. Okay. I literally was just going through and looking at these. What made me select this is I was going, man, I just want something that has some texture in the background that isn't overwhelming. And this one popped up. So I'm going to grab these brush strokes because I just want the brush strokes. Okay. I'm going to bring them over here. I'm going to paste them. There we go. And I'm going to make them bigger like this. I'm going to go ahead and undo those so they're not together anymore. I might do that. Cool. And now I'm going to select those and I'm going to make those one of those light tan colors in the background. Both of them probably like that. I'll go to position, go to layers. They're both selected. I'll get them both selected. I'll drag them down together behind everything. Look at that. Unzoom a little bit so you can see the top corner of my design. Get it centered. Now I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to grab this one. And I'm going to duplicate it. So I got 4 of them. Select those other 2. And I'm going to select a darker color. Maybe like that. Good. And I'm going to put the darker color behind the other ones. Probably. Would make sense. There we go. Now, kind of get it close to where I'm thinking. Maybe something like that. It's literally all I was thinking. And this one I could probably move down and then adjust it to where it's, I don't want the brown spot right there. So what I'm looking at right now is I want to capture some of this sandstone speckle finish in the corner. I don't want it to be that, but I don't want our team to be blotched out either with the color behind it. So I'm going to move this guy over a smidge, and then I'm going to move that one, maybe like that. And I'm going to shrink it down like that. That's it. That's it. Probably where I'm going to leave it. It's good enough for right now. And then always put your tag in there, put your Instagram handle, whatever it might be. So there are these circles. You see why I left them? I was cheating because I'd done it once before. I left them a little bit lighter color because I think it looked better. See how that just kind of adds too much dark? That's just a little bit too much, too dark. But that's just a little bit of, even with Debbie's over here where it's in the lighter color, enough that it breaks up the rest of it. So I would call that done. Linda was happy with that. The team was happy with that. What I think highlighted this today for day 5 is our continued topic from week 3, using AI tools to try to remove the fingers. And then last week we played with background removal. We played with magic remove. Well, we played with all these different pictures. Let's look. We played with magic eraser. We erased the post in Isaiah and Kayla's picture so we could put that up there. Then we made the slushies and fun picture at the end for the Camp Moccasin. So we did some removal tools. We used a lot of magic expand today, and it didn't matter that it was perfect. Now, you wouldn't want to blow those up and make them huge, but at least allowed us to get their faces centered. It finished off the top of Linda's head. I think those pictures are pretty typical of what somebody might give you, or you might have, that you're like, hey, I'd like to use this picture. The lighting's good, so the picture is acceptable, but there's something not quite right. But then when you go to put it in there, your face is too big. Now what do? Well, Magic Expand can kind of fix that. So we used those tools today with a specific purpose, which in day 4, we're doing a bunch of hypotheticals. You know, we're playing with the fishing guy. We're putting everybody on the beach. We're having fun with the team. We're using it. We're just having fun. We're just figuring it out. But today in day 5, this is like a real world example of why Magic Expand is a really powerful tool, because it allows you to take pictures maybe you couldn't have used that would have looked wonky, and you made them look really good for this application on social. You're never going to blow them up enough where somebody's going to notice the background isn't perfect behind Debbie, or the shades were kind of wonky behind Linda's head, or her hair is actually AI generated. You'll never see it, but it does give you something really finished and polished that you can put online in a matter of no time at all. And that is really probably going to complete our AI photo editing for this workshop. So between week 3, 4, and 5, there's enough AI and photo editing stuff that you should really have a really good grasp of where those tools are at. Last week, we played with a lot of filters, and the filters are the only other thing that we didn't touch today because we didn't need to. Over here and below the magic tools are all your filters. So there again, we didn't touch it today, but last week we had to use them a lot, right? Because we're matching different filtered pictures with backgrounds and trying to get them to match. Again, just showing you different places in week 4 that you could take pictures maybe that aren't perfect and make them work. And that's what I really want from this whole workshop is, can you take something that isn't perfect and just get something done and get it online? And you can, and that's powerful. And these tools are really, really powerful. Now, you could, if you wanted to, we could do the same thing with all of these pictures, and we could do like a background removal. So we could remove the background from hers and Linda's. We could do a background removal from hers. It's been the only AI tool we haven't really used, background remover. We used Magic Grab and Debbie's. Now, Debbie's gets a little funky because it wants to grab the other person next to her. So it wouldn't work in this case, but that's something else you could do. Then you could make these pictures or these colors a little different color, or get a different background behind them and drag them up inside that picture frame. You didn't need to do it. And actually the result isn't as good as what we did. And I think that really shows, again, knowing which tool to use, how much of that tool to use really goes a long ways in making your social media posts look good when you're done. And that, again, that's the whole part of the workshop. We're 5 days in, And within 20 minutes, we have a completed project. And this team, the Movers Life Shakers, they have something they can post online. That's powerful. So I think it's great. I love it. I give it to Linda. She loved it. Her team loved it. And that's all that matters. Honestly, that's it. So with that, let me switch my scenes here. Hope you guys got a lot out of today. Thank you. Again, like, share, those things with the videos is so important with our small channel. But more important than anything, share this with somebody that could use it. Okay, please share the video with somebody that could use it, somebody that could take advantage of a Canva workshop, that could want to hone those skills. That is more important to me than anything. Like, comment, share, all those things are super powerful. But man, I just want the workshop content to get to somebody that needs it. And if there's something you'd like to see next week, put it in the comments. Thanks, guys. We appreciate you, and we'll see you on day 6. We're going to get into some editing of videos, making some posts on social media using videos, and getting over our fear of maybe even putting our face on there in day 6. So we'll see you guys all on day 6.